Okay, madam, good evening. So today we'll be talking about working with files and the folders. In this course, we will be identifying different types of file, know what file is all about, know what a folder is, and why we use folders, and different ways of, structuring files. Okay, so what is a file? We said that a file is an item that contains information. The information the item may contain could be text or images. It could also be video or music. When a file is opened, a file can look very much like text documents or picture that you might find on someone's desk or in a filing cabinet. On computer, files are represented with icons. These icons makes it easy to recognize the type of file a particular file is. So when we are discussing about file or we say computer file, we are talking about documents, we are talking about images, we are talking about pictures, programs, and videos. These are what we call files. Okay, then these files are different types and they have different icons you can use to identify them. Take for an instance, now look at this. These are different files. Look at this. These are different files. Let me come to the document library. These are folders. These ones with yellow icons are known as folders. Then when you scroll down, you see different files. Look at this file. You see the shape. Let me increase the size of them. Then look at this. Let me increase the size of the window as well. Look at these files. You see, they have different colors. So that's what made them different types of file as well. When you look at their icons, you see that they have different icons, different shapes. Then that is also what identified them as different types of file. Look at this. This one is a PDF file. Let me increase the zoom, the size. All right. So these are different files. This one is PDF. This is an image file. This is PSD file, which is Adobe Photoshop document file. This is a CorelDRAW file. You see it? This is Microsoft Word file. So we have different types. This one is Adobe InDesign file. So we have different types of files, okay? So these are what we call files. So if I move to, let me go to the desktop. Let me look for where I have images or pictures. So, or any other file. Look at this. These ones that will open, this folder called High Life, it contains High Life music tracks. So these are also files. So these are what we meant by a computer file. Then these other ones are called folders. Folder is used to organize and arrange file. Folder is a container that we use to store files in. So these are different folders. Some of them has content. These are different files the folder contains. These different files this folder called CorelDRAW contains. Do you get that? So that's what we call a file. So let's proceed. Then looking at this icon now, you will understand that we have this icon. This is a file contact. This is an image file. This is a text file icon. Do you get that? So the next is a folder. A folder is a container you can use to store files in. If you have thousands of paper files on your desk, it could be nearly impossible to find any particular file when you needed it. That's why people often store paper files in folders inside a filing cabinet. That is file organization, to organize a file. On your computer, folders work the same way. Here are typical examples of a folder. This is a folder like I showed you before. This folder is empty. This is also a folder. This folder contains invoices. It's an invoice folder. So a folder can store other folders. When you have a folder can also store another folder. A folder within a folder inside a folder is called subfolders. For an instance, look at this. Let me look for a folder that has another folder inside. Maybe I may not get it now, but I have a folder that contains other folders. So we call the content folder subfolder. Do you get that? So that is what we call a folder and a file.